one of the grand finals has came and gone. It saw G2 take it in clinical fashion in the end. Hellraiser's choice of map. Next up is Cobblestone, and G2, you have to feel on the brink of taking this title.
Yeah, you got to feel like it. I mean, they're on home turf right now. This is probably their best map outside of Nuke. Meanwhile, for Hellraisers, it was a map they were quite good on last year. I mean, remember they beat VP at Epicenter, but they've really strayed away from it lately. And we even saw just G2 absolutely blast them at Starlighter on this map in the group stage. It was a 16-2 win for G2. And after what we just saw on Cash, you almost have to begin to wonder if we're about to see a very one-sided grand final if Hellraisers doesn't start waking up. Outside of Zero. Zero was there. He's probably wondering why ain't nobody helped me in that game. Like, I'm trying. Can someone else please? Like, please help me. So we'll see if he's going to get it from somebody on this team, because obviously there's several players on Hellraisers who should be able to support him better now.
Yeah, I mean, at one point he was on 17 kills. Everyone else is around 8 kills. You know, just no help whatsoever. And especially on Cash, when you have a full G2 team pushing your area, there's only so much one guy can do, even a guy on form. Dead Fox, again, I highlighted him. I said, is he going to show up Cash? Didn't really have an opportunity to, in all honesty. Their economy was never in a great shape, so they didn't have that many AWPs on their side. And they did struggle as a result. The double AWP setup for G2 was far too strong for them. And Cobblestone, I just don't see things getting any easier. But maybe some of the pressure's off them now, you know, after getting taken to pieces. Now they're just like, okay, guys, come on, let's do this.
Yeah, it's one of those things where both teams like to be very aggressive, but only G2 was successful with it when it came to the CT sides. It was such a G2 team that was firing on all cylinders. They really didn't have anything going wrong. Everything was going their way. They were getting everything they wanted. Everything was just fine and dandy, right? They never really met any true resistance. Meanwhile, Hellraisers could never really get much going outside of those first few rounds in the first half. And so they have a lot of work to do now, because you're going up against G2 on one of their best maps. Not only with this lineup, but the roots of this team, you know, have always been very good on this map. And again, they have the head-to-head result against Hellraisers offline not so long ago, where they absolutely blasted them all over this map. And so, yeah, there's definitely a lot of weight on Hellraisers' shoulders at this point now.
Well, if they don't improve leaps and bounds for the neutrals perspective, this is going to be a disappointing final. I mean, there's no two ways about it. That first map was over before you really knew what hit you, and this map could go the same way. So let's hope that Hellraisers have awoken a little bit and do make a real go of this. But we are just about to jump in to the second map of this grand finals. Cobblestone coming up, and if Hellraisers can pull the rabbit out of hat, the final map will be Train, where I still don't think things are going to get that much easier for them.
No, probably not. Like I said, at least Hellraisers, they have some familiarity with Cobblestone. Like I said, it used to be a map that was great on them, but they're going to get G2 on their T side first. We know how explosive they can be and how successful they were at being assertive in the previous map. So Hellraisers are going to get tested quite a lot right off the bat. We do see Angel poking and prodding here at Long A for some information. D2 not giving him any. They're just held back with that bomb, not allowing Angel to pick up on what's going on.
Bomb still over on the mid side. Have a couple players on B plat as well for G2, so they can sell this fake. Also waiting to make sure that none of the CTs push their way around B plat and start to get some vital information. But almost a stalemate standstill. We're gonna see some action right here, right now, as Angel threads the first kill, piercing Body's forehead. And he wants some more before he inevitably falls without 4 health. Sticko's missed a few opportunities, and down he'll go. Apex gets the double on the already weakened Angel. And now Bondic and Zero step up to the plate and at least dish out a couple of kills of their own. Caught in the backside is Apex. He tries to move down into mid. Kenny S is going to finalize the bomb plant, so at the very least there's some economy ticking over into the next round. Has a P250, no Kevlar, which could be an issue. And both the players going to push him simultaneously. Well played by Hellraisers to claim the pistol.
Yeah, bringing that back nicely. It looked pretty dangerous there for a moment when Apex was popping off once more, really opening up that A-bomb site. Great pressure thrown initially at B to kind of hold people in place. And Apex just clears things out. Looked like he had it in the bag, but a great recovery. It was almost a team effort from Hellraisers. Almost everyone pitched in there except for Sticko. So putting a point on the board early, definitely a nice sign. But as you noted, that bomb plant comes in, and that means that you're going to see a super raid boss in MBK. Again, AK head armor, not even just a Tech 9. So they're going to have some firepower right off the bat, but great catch by Sticko on the shocks.
Again, though, it is more of an interference play than anything else. The bulk of G2 now moving into drop. And I was gonna say it should be a massacre, but Body and Apex come out swinging for 2 kills. That's gonna open up B nicely. And MBK is still rattling off shots with the AK-47. Will go down finally. Sticko will land his man onto Body, and now 1-on-1. The HP advantage firmly in favor of Bondik. That's slightly behind in terms of the weaponry, and it will get the headshot. It is at the cost of 4 lives, though. So that CT's economy does take a bit of a hit. Unfortunately, though, for G2, they didn't get a bomb planted.
Yeah, they kind of fell apart. The guy got stuck in the corner with the bomb, didn't actually go inside the site for the plant. I guess, just, looking for the frag, and then obviously Apex gets caught reloading, basically, on the statue. So there was a couple of things that if G2 hadn't messed it up, they probably win that round. But as you noted, at least getting a lot of damage done, forcing a lot of rebuying out of Hellraisers, which means that there's definitely blood in the water, and G2 smells it, so they're going to go ahead and buy up again with the Tech 9 and head armor. Look to see if they can't keep the money low on Hellraisers, perhaps even steal a round away. That last one was pretty close.
Yeah, it sure was. That's 2 rounds in a row on top of it, where it has been 1 player left alive for Hellraisers. And here come G2, except, actually, pardon me, it was 2 in the pistol round, but just 1 in the previous. 0 in Chicken Coop may not be required if Dead Fox continues to apply the pressure. Finally, 0 is time to shine, and he will put down G2. And this force buy simply has not really yielded anything. They're going to go back for the boost. It has failed, and now they're going to get aggressed on as Apex is going to pick up only the 1 kill, and that's all they will get out of this round. 3-0, much better start for Hellraisers.
Yeah, they fend off all of the force buys there, and they wind up with the 3-0 start, but now we're going to see the true test coming in for Hellraisers. They're going to be up against full buys now from G2. I'm really curious to see how these battles go out on B. Obviously, prime real estate, Shocks, the master of the B platform, going to be going against 0. We actually do see G2, though, having to take a lower buy now because they put so much in those last 2 rounds. They actually didn't have enough to really get the buy that they wanted here, so they will actually take a deco. Straight up deeks across the board.
It's been a while since you've been able to use a phrase like that. The good old deco. It has a lot of power, and especially behind G2. But with this investment, similar to the last round, it's starting all the way of Hellraisers. And BK looking to traipse his way out the window. Just about a couple pixels away from connecting, but Bondik will get the upper hand, eviscerating MBK. Now Dead Fox in prime position to strike again with his M4A4. The perks of having the extra 10 bullets, he could spray for a little while longer. And again, it is a clean sweep for Hellraisers.
Yeah, so getting off to a great start here, which is exactly what they need given what we just saw on Cash. But now G2 are going to be able to start putting things together. After that deco, they will have the AWP in Kineas's hands. They have AKs across the board, full utility, so they'll be able to work things out. They'll go to a 1-4 setup right away. No surprise, it's one of the classics for this team. Shock's going to be that guy over there, solo B, just trying to put as much pressure as he can by himself, giving his team time to work against just the initial defenders with no rotation coming over at middle and long A. Try to see if Kineas can't find something with that AWP or if Apex can't find something with that rifle.
Hellraisers so far have been efficient on their CT rounds. We'll be looking for more of the same. They are down an AWP compared to G2. There's still plenty of firepower and nades left on the table. Looking for a couple of smokes to land on the B side as they go for the peak. Sticko can count himself lucky he didn't get picked off on the cross there with a nade out, and is actually able to thread a couple of kills together, maybe even a third. And the bomb also dropped on Stables. Will be coming through for another one. Runs out of bullets. We're going to switch to the Tech 9 anyway, and the AK-47. And this should be the round put in its place, and Hellraisers taking a solid lead. Shocks alive and kicking, only for a few more moments, as I think Kenny got a Molotov kill from the grave. That doesn't change the scoreline. And Hellraisers, this is exactly what we were looking for.
Yeah, really well done. Sticko steps up huge there to defend that big push out of long A. Comes up massive. Several frags on the round here with the M4, so definitely holding things out and putting that 5th round on the board for Hellraisers. So G2 still yet to find anything in this, and now they're back to a low buy once more. So now it's Hellraisers off to the roaring start this time around. So they'll be able to hopefully, you know, start saving money now as well, start getting some clean wins just to have money for a rainy day in case G2 does start striking back.
First kill goes their way once again. Has been a reoccurring theme. Apex from danger. And he's going to take a nade. Down to 63. A quick trip onto B plat has been stifled by Dead Fox, just tapping away through the smoke. Sticko up on boost, good for 1 kill. And G2 haven't really shown too much so far on this cobblestone T side. They are certainly struggling to keep their heads above the water.
Yeah, they're doing well. Sticko usually playing over towards the B bombs, actually playing A quite a lot in this game. I guess it's because Dead Fox is, who can kind of rotate between this side, is actually holding out at B a lot lately. And so Sticko's really stepping up on that A side, particularly the 1 gun round we've seen. As they will clean things up and get a 6-0 start, but G2 will now have their second bye of the half. We'll see if they can fare a bit better, as of course they had that 1-0 lead in the series after a blistering start on Cash. But they are off to a rough patch here right now as Hellraisers are looking to fight back in this series. They will once again just go on the single AWP setup here. Don't really have the money to go for double op, but you could see that at some point. Again, they favor it.
Hellraisers already equalizing their grand total of rounds for Cash. Looking good in the early stages of Cobblestone. Sticko, first kill. Shox is looking for that pixel. Just the head is all he requires to take it clean off the shoulders of the CTs, but he will actually go down that very same way. Bondik hiding in the shadows of the smoke. He's going to come through for another kill on this bomb. In the hands of Kenny S. He's got to take down 5 players. Otherwise, this buy has been for nothing. And Sticko comes through. It is going to be a tactical timeout, and G2 must be wondering, what?
Yeah, they just got shut down again. I mean, they got shut down on their 1-4A, and now you have Shox trying to make one of those plays he will make sometimes on the platform when he just wants to take the game into his hands and just be the playmaker, and he just gets shut down. He couldn't find anything. He was trying to get those shots like you know, trying to get that pixel headshot, never found it. Did get taken down. His team crumbled as well. Even a player sneaking into the smoke at Broken Wall, backstabbing them at one point. And so this is a whole new look for Hellraisers. Whatever was going on last map, they seem to have waken up in a big way. And so yeah, G2 are less scratching their heads right now. And again, they've only had 2 full buys this half, so it's not as if things are that crazy. But again, being down 7-0 is certainly not a great place to be in.
Body language not looking too great for G2, understandably.
Yeah, they don't seem too rattled, just kind of chilling, just calm. They know that they have the safety net of winning the first map. They know they still have plenty of rounds left in this half. Just trying to figure out what they want to go towards.
Again, though, I do feel there's more pressure on G2's shoulders being in front of a French crowd. The fact that Hellraisers, this is their first LAN finals together as this roster of this magnitude for sure. And after getting pasted so hard on that map, I mean, as I said at the time, maybe this is their moment to just go, okay, guys, look, we're the underdogs. We're probably one of the dark horses coming into this tournament. Most people expected like G2 or Na'Vi to win. We've made the finals. Let's just see how far we can go. There's no pressure on our shoulders anymore. And you are seeing a reinvigorated Hellraisers come out for this half. G2 just got nothing to stick thus far.
Yeah, just putting a lot of focus on B here. Actually have a AAA set up from Hellraisers, so they're really looking to make sure that any type of heavy presence by G2 at A, which they like to do, is going to be directly contested, but it does leave B a bit more vulnerable. If G2 decide to pounce on B fast and break through this initial defense, to rotate so far away for Hellraisers.
I like that Zero held off on the idea of spraying back through that smoke. Because at that point, they may think that he's in the alcove. They go for the Molotov anyway, not taking any chances. Let's see what he was going for on that one. A lot of players are just blind fired through the smoke. Either way, G2 starting to get some kills on the board, finally. Maybe this is their moment to start striking back on Cobblestone T side. Kenny S going to go through for the plant. Still 2 mollies in play, so they can cordon off a couple of these areas. And Hellraisers, already with 2 players at T-spawn, they're going to have a boatload of cash. But it's still not worth burning that money when you could save it for the next round.
It's just kind of one of those things in the rock, paper, scissors battle where G2 throws rock and Just through scissors, right? I mean, they're way on the other side of the map. Apex able to swing through drop-down room, completely tear B apart, rotates nowhere near in place. And, you know, 3 just is forced to save at that point. It's one of those rare occasions where you just have to kind of fold. Don't even have a way to play back into the round, so G2 will finally put a point on the board after a huge start from Hellraisers. And now what can they work off of? It's going to be the question.
Much to the delight of the crowd, G2 have got themselves on the map. 1 round in. A couple weapons were saved. Pretty solid digits behind Hellraisers 2, as you'd expect after such a lead. So they can dip right back into their bank and come out fine. I mean, he's still got 15k plus on Dead Fox. So they're good for another couple purchases, regardless of what happens. Yeah, it's a long climb.
Yeah, they're well away from forcing Hellraisers to a save at this point. They're gonna have to win a couple more in a row. You're gonna see Dead Fox looking to get aggressive, gets a nice hit there, almost gets the frag. That was very close.
1 health on Apex.
Look at MBK though, just so quick on this follow-up.
You'd have fancied him to have landed that one for MBK. And down he goes, and now the Molotov gonna force out in position. Fortunately though, for Shox, there's a flashbang that landed in the eyes of Dead Fox, allowing him to relocate out onto the B platform. Some damage has been inflicted, and Alkenius is gonna come straight through and put that AK-47 in the face of his adversaries. Downside for G2, collectively they have 12 health, but they're gonna make it work for 2 kills as body lands both onto Dead Fox and Angel. Sticko now has to try and quite literally come through the fire and the flames to clutch this one out. Throws the molly onto B plat. No one's home. They've gone for a boost on Tree, and G2 have pulled it off with such a slither of health. A huge round.
They had such a great entry, but things got so chaotic for them. I mean, everyone from Hellraisers started pitching in and finding kills and slowing G2 down. And in a 2v2 where G2 has 2 players on very low HP, Body finds a way to find the key kills to put it through. Well crafted by Body, just some nice aim there. What a round from him. He's also had a great tournament for this team, if we're honest. He's looked so much better in this version of G2 than the one in the summer of last year. So props to him. I know he had a tough time at Austin, but this event he's been excellent.
Yeah, I feel like it just comes down to comfort for him, you know? Going back into positions that he's happy in. 0 with the first. I'm just going to try and put a stop to this comeback train before it gets rolling, to rail the juggernaut that is G2. And not a bad first pick. Shox falls by the side of round 10.
That's a key piece off the board. Again, Shox, one of those guys who's just so good at capturing platforms, so to be able to take him out's great. Body, a little bit of a fight here with Dead Fox. Takes a lot of damage, but is able to get out of there. So G2 still can try to see what they can do with their 4 remaining players. We're gonna see a boost over the smoke. Yes, oh, just misses. That would have been devastating.
So both Orpers have had a golden opportunity to claim a kill. It would seem that Hellraisers is in prime position to pick up an 8th round as the flashbangs are being traded in mid. Sticko can't see a single thing, but no one's pushing him. And he has his Guardian Angel behind him anyway. Kenny S and an Orp in another 1-on-5. This time he doesn't have control of the bomb. And Angel is there to strike once again, reclaiming their winning ways.
Yeah, most of the time Hellraisers has done very well holding this B platform and even taking picks into long B and really disrupting G2. Not giving them a lot of space to work with. Just those couple of rounds that they won, obviously. Other than that, though, Hellraisers has done great on the defense. And money is obviously low for G2. They'll buy up all that they can this round. Obviously, MBK, though, just going to be on the Deagle, and if they can't win this round, they probably can't buy in the next. So this could be where Hellraisers gets off to a roaring start, but Apex trying his damnedest to ensure that won't happen. A great pick on the Dead Fox right away. They try to move his op in a different place and does not pay off.
Yeah, last round was peaking. Oh, they're going to line up for Angel, and he so nearly knocks them down. Just a couple millimeters away from causing real havoc on long. Instead, G2 have the player advantage. They are going to try their luck with Sticko coming around the backside, but Shox is up to the task.
Big catch.
Huge catch, yeah. He comes out second best there. They have to be very cognizant of a flank. And it allows Hellraisers to then put both their players on A.
He can pull or rotate, or he can just flank connector and really make this a lot easier to capture the A bomb site. So Hellraisers are going to have to gamble. They'll just stack A together with 2 players. But as more time passes, that sense of doubt rings in that maybe they're transitioning this bomb away. And so that forces them just to try to take a dice roll. Unfortunately, it's the wrong one. And G2 take a free B bomb site now. They'll plant. And I mean, this round's pretty much done.
Mindset for Hellraisers. We live together, we die together. You either want to save those weapons, or we get pushed on A and try our best to make it happen. And Kenny S, he's been here before. He's been around the block a few times. He knows what's coming up against him. Waits for the long push. And we'll get one. If Zero falls, there's going to be a pretty big body blow. And instead, he actually takes down the AWPer of Kenny S, and will go down afterwards, but it is damage done to both teams' economies. And of course, G2 not in a great shape themselves. They're so slow clap with the gets. Why not?
Why not? Exactly what we wanted here. Just great work by Shox, really. I mean, catching that rotation. I mean, on Apex, though, the initial presence at A is what forces the B rotate. Then when Shox catches that last player, the failsafe, the flank, that changes everything. As Apex continues to wreak havoc on this map. That's a Dead Fox down again. That's twice in a row now. He's won the opening duel against Dead Fox within the first few seconds of the round.
Already been knocked down to 1 health 3 or 4 times in this best of 3 too. He will not go down without a fight. MBK landing the headshot, demolishing Stico and this B defense. Zero in the most forward position on the rock, hoping it'll be a Sanctuary. Very nearly a second kill, which would have turned the tide of this round. Considering that Apex, of course, aforementioned 1 HP, and Shox just on 34. Kenny S missing his opportunity. Does get some information, though. And now the double molly stack means Bondic cannot get anything done, and G2 will claim another round.
Again, it's just Apex causing so much pressure early in these rounds. That's the second in a row, again, that he takes out Dead Fox right away, and that forces the CTs to scramble a bit. It lightens the defense on the B site, makes it a bit more vulnerable. Getting to that soft underbelly of Hellraisers at that point, and G2 have done well to capitalize on that, as this is another round on the board for them. Now 2 in a row. They've won 4 out of the last 5. They've reset Hellraisers' economy, and now they're starting to drain those funds on Hellraisers, and that's why you're seeing them really need to carry these guns over, because it's going to be difficult to construct some full buys going forward in this half the way things have played out lately.
Here's the MBK 1-tap. Stico didn't know what hit him.
It's one of those things where what do you even do if you're Stico there? There's absolutely nothing he could have done. We saw it from his perspective when it was live, and it looked just as nasty from the other perspective.
So double AWP stuff came into play. First time we've seen this for Hellraisers.
Yeah, not one that does it too much, to be quite honest. Certainly Cobblestone's a map where you see some teams be able to put it to use. So we'll see if that's the change they need to make things happen.
Angel was asking a lot with such a small gap on the wall there, plus the Molotov, which is skewing his vision a little bit. Goes back in for seconds, misses. Won't be punished with his life, but 2/3 of his health have evaporated. Be looking to cool down a little bit. Can flow out of long A and get some kills. Again, missing. Flashes are wrecking him. Stico up to the plate, but he's also burning to a crisp, and Kenny S takes him down. A comedy of errors on long could cost Hellraisers dearly as they put so much into this round in terms of finances. Bondic finally fires back and gets something done for Hellraisers, and a second. So this round hasn't quite came and gone just yet. They're in this one, and Bondic is just on a tear. Spraying up through Stables, very nearly claims another kill onto Apex. And there we go, Bondic is absolutely running amok. He gets taken down. But the damage he's inflicted on G2 could be fatal. Shock's gonna take the AWP in a 1-on-2 and just make a beeline for the B site. CTs are spread up here and both looking over on the A play, but Dead Fox close to maneuvering himself onto the B side.
Ooh, I like that. He did a sound cue to maybe try to fake that he was going drop-down room, so this could catch Dead Fox. Look at him, he's worried about window. Just a little small detail that gives Shox a bit more breathing room, and look at the result from it. He's gonna get in, he's gonna get the plant just in time.
unbelievable. Dead Fox will be feeling sick to his stomach. And Zero's not going to be feeling too much better about this. Now Shox, with a Molotov, can play position. And of course, with such an aggressive play, he's going to go in! Oh, what a flick that is onto Zero! A masterpiece of a play. And G2 have picked up a 5th round out of nowhere.
One of the best men in the business when it comes to clutching. Again, just those fine details. He throws in those little curveballs. He really rattled Dead Fox with that sound cue. That was so well done. Absolutely blindsides him. Fantastic. I mean, Bondic did so much work to reel that round back in for Hellraisers, only for Shox to just take the hook, line, and sinker right down to the ocean floor. Didn't allow that to go any further. And so G2 are really putting it together now. Hellraisers running out of money in a big, big way. And they're also losing all of their momentum.
Still goosebumps from that play. That is so smart. Hellraisers. I mean, Bondic in particular must be just shaking his head like, I got 4K, guys. What else do you want from me?
Especially since his team was like getting wrecked. They tried to take all these early battles at long A halls. They were missing all of them. They were really getting put in awkward space. And he bails them out only for Shox just to do that. I mean, that's probably one of the best clutches we've seen this entire tournament. And it comes right at the right time in the grand finals where his team was playing from behind and trying to scrape together, back together a good T-half, as now they'll look to just hit the speed bomb site.
Dead Fox in position though to spray, still has some bullets in the magazine. It's a 2-for-1 trade. Here comes the CZ, and Zero will connect the dots on this time of asking and survives. Interesting, Lovestico just goes for the sprint into the double doors. It may not end up mattering too much. As MBK now on a 1-on-3. What a shot that is onto Bondic. Partially through the doors, catches him, plucks him out the air. Maybe taking a bit of inspiration from Shox, but unfortunately it was a bridge too far. Hellraisers will be playing the last round at a 9-5 lead.
So finally a response from Hellraisers, right? They've had a tough time here in the latter parts of this first half. They put one more through, so they will get that 9th round on the board and keep their CT side in still really good shape, especially if they can win this last round, a 10-5 half from their CT. Well done, you know, to contain a G2 team to 5 rounds. Well, of course, we still have G2 able to scrape together something here. A couple Tech 9s, and they're going to take things fast again with Shox. He's looking to hunt people down right away. Gets caught, though. Great play from Dead Fox. He's had a nice couple of opening kills here on this B site.
Oh, they did very nearly line up for Bondic. That crouch peek really wrecked him in the end. Still, though, just going even blow for blow, body. Well, they're going to put a punch in that's too much for Zero to deal with. Down he goes to the canvas. The last time in this half. Kenny S, Apex, body. Moving together for the time being. Stico's going to get up close and personal with the FAMAS, lands the headshot onto body, spins around and was so close to taking down Apex. That would have been disgusting. Instead, Angel will be maneuvering his way in to clutch this 1-on-2. Apex, 23 health. Will be getting the plant onto A. He knows where Angel is, and Angel's about to find out exactly where Apex has gone. Now, he doesn't have a HE or a Molotov, but he does have plenty of utility to try and force his way onto the site. And Apex going all the way around towards mid.
Yeah, he definitely planted in an open spot where he could really be playing from anywhere. That means Angel has a lot to worry about. Well, the timing couldn't have been better. I mean, literally, if Apex waits a bit longer and Angel, you know, sees that's clear and keeps going, that plays so different. Again, a game that could come down to milliseconds at times. And so, thankfully for Angel, it plays in his favor. He's going to get those 10 rounds for Hellraisers. So, a well-done CT side, a hot start, great recovery from G2, but Hellraisers put down a couple of more there towards the end to maintain a solid lead. And so this is good stuff from Hellraisers, starting to become alive in this best of 3 in these grand finals.
Gotta say, I feel a bit sorry for Apex there. I mean, if Angel goes up on balcony, he probably wins the round. If Angel checks like long or stables instead of going down into mid, probably wins the round. It's just one of those things, as you say, it's the roll of the dice. And Apex came out second best. And he had to go for an audacious play like that because he was so far behind on HP. You know, 1 bullet and he's dead. 10-5 though. This is much more what we were looking for.
It's one of those things where he played that perfectly, really. I mean, I think he did everything right. He just happened to get caught. It's one of those things that can happen. Just the timings did not work in his favor. But we still have a lot of time left in this map. G2 could still make that comeback. Their CT side can be quite powerful, especially the form that their players have been in, particularly Apex. One of those guys is going to be really key in defending the A side of the map. If he keeps it up, it's going to be hard for Hellraisers to find opportunities there. Obviously, you think about Kenny's op all across the map, and then Shox just being that bedrock over on the B side. So you're going up against a lot of firepower on your T side if you're Hellraisers. So let's see what they got as we get this pistol round live in the second half.
Keep in mind, too, that until the last map, we'll hold the phone for a second. Angel's just going to drive straight by and land the frag. But keep in mind that up until that last map, Hellraisers hadn't lost a single one. Angel with another kill. He's going to come straight through with the USP. And now it's up to NBK, but Sticko is not going to allow him to shine. Puts the blinders on. Body up in balcony. That's a beautiful first one tap, but he's probably not going to get anything else. Especially considering that his partner in crime of Shox has gone down. What? Body gets absolutely dumpstered. And that's two of the nicest one taps you're going to see. Back to back. Exquisite plays by Body. And with Dead Fox being so low, if he does go for a peek, he likely will die. And then we're down into a one-on-one. Body still has the time to pull this off. He's landed the headshot. And now he's going to go straight for long. He realizes where the last player may be. Now it just comes down to pure timing. He's going to tickle the bomb. There's no way of Hellraisers knowing if he has a kit or not. And it is going to be the round to Hellraisers. But I've got to say, NT Body, that was nearly incredible.
Yeah, he really almost brought that one back. Some really nice shots. If he had a kit, you'd fancy his chances there after the way he was hitting heads, but it will be a round for Hellraisers. Really off the back of some great entries by Angel. He really put in some key frags. And so Hellraisers will continue to hold G2 off for now, but of course we will see a buy up from G2, including a UMP on Body. He got a lot of money out of that round, so why not?
You want to be careful when you come up against a wild Apex on A long with the 5-7. Many teams have tried and many teams have failed in that scenario. But they do get a 1-for-1 trade. The UMP still in the hands of Body, of course, alongside the Kevlars and pistols. Kenny S with a last buy, of course. We'll get that up as soon as possible. And Hellraisers starting to make a move towards the B side of the map.
And you see them shuffling over here. Everyone going to be coming out along. No presence anywhere else. They do leave one player behind, actually, at drop-down room, so maybe for a late flank, but this boosted position can be tricky to deal with.
Body up close and personal. 25 bullets in the magazine. How many of them are going to connect? Just one required. Kenny S is going to help him out, and Body goes in for yet another one. Sticko's still alive and kicking, but not for much longer. Again, G2 break the hearts of Hellraisers. Great performance by Body.
Really well done. He put that UMP to work up close on the broken wall. Perfect weapon for a scenario like that, and absolutely delivers. Kenny S also chiming in. Sticko, in the meantime, from drop down room, couldn't find anything with his own UMP. And so a round comes a bit early here for G2. Hellraisers will force buy back into this here with some upgraded pistols and armor. Dead Fox, of course, taking things a bit lighter. They will again have that boosted tree position perhaps put into play. Body jumped off of it last time, making the reads, and it paid off. As Hellraisers will take things fairly slow.
Yeah, slowing the pace right down. That nade looked like it could do a whole bunch of damage. It actually does nothing. Landing behind both of the aggressing terrorists up in drop. Meanwhile, Hellraisers still have some impact over on the middle side of the map. They're going to make sure there's no rotation around the back of them. But again, G2 have the pressure completely off their shoulders. They know they have the firepower advantage. Effectively say, come at us, bros. You've got to get the bomb planted. We've got great setups here, great crossfires. Very passive plays on A as well, not having anyone mid or in long. Hellraisers going to have to brute force their way through onto this site if they want to win this round. And that's exactly what they're looking to do through drop. MBK, not only with the kill, but the bomb also dropping by his side and is able to just turn tail, run away. The crossfire is on point. G2 with yet another one.
Yeah, so they've started to make that comeback effort early thanks to some big plays by Body with the UMP. Obviously, MBK a big part of that as well, guarding down that window, not allowing any type of connector split to come to fruition. And now Hellraisers have to just fully save to make sure they get a full buy in the next round. So just Glocks. This should be pretty much a mop-up for G2 at this point.
Yeah, find ourselves in this position so many times when casting T sides in this scenario. Bomb plant is pretty much the best case scenario with full Glocks. Even then, that's asking a lot. Especially a map like Cobblestone. If we're looking at Train, then it's a lot more doable. Cobblestone really not in the same ballpark. And there we go. Kenny S from downtown lands the dunk nade onto Angel. Lands in his pocket. Kenny S is going to see a lot of action in mid with his Tech 9. Is able to get himself two. Not quite a third. But Apex will do the rest from danger. Being tagged up from the backside is the Glock versus the M4. The assault rifle, of course, will come out on top. And they have now bridged that gap to just 3 rounds, 11-8.
Yeah, so that big lead that Hellraisers had is all but withered away at this point, and G2 now right on their heels, but we will see Hellraisers off to a full buy this round. They saved up for this, have everything that they could want, and they're a team that, you know, again, can really do good at changing pace. They can play slow defaults, they can do faster stuff on B. They also have a lot of those threat smoke setups on this map. You know, different smokes from middle to B to try to, you know, throw fakes or to go for the actual full B execute or to split connector with the smoke down at the doorway that you can throw from mid. So they definitely have a lot of different things they can go to. They developed a lot on this map over the last few months. So that means that they can throw a lot of different stuff at G2, make it difficult to be read. But it all starts here.
Smooth move there for Stickbolt, jumping up on the box like that. Doesn't really get anything done as the B-long push wasn't coming to fruition. And the position that Zero was using in the alcove was quickly mollied off when the roles were reversed, and I expect more of the same for Hellraisers. They've got 4 Molotovs. There's no reason not to throw one on Shocks here. Just to make sure they don't have to worry about that angle if they do decide to push through B-long.
Yeah, also can use it to clear out tree as well, which Body is playing on top of, so they can definitely force him down if he's not already going to drop down on his own. Oh, the smokes, though, extinguishing all that fire. So now they didn't get the clear that they wanted. Now they have to fight for it.
That's really significant, especially if they start to push through on B-long. And now Shocks, who's not been forced out of position, they may be baited into thinking that he's not here anymore. And with Body also turning it up elsewhere on the map, Shocks can now just turn tail and run. He thought someone was through the smoke. You can understand that decision. Again, it comes down to that 50-50. And he guesses incorrectly. Still his team maintain a player advantage.
Indeed, they do. There's only a little bit of time left on the clock as well for Hellraisers to make a decision. Looks like they are just going to go ahead and commit to B, but they're trying to throw that sense of doubt in. Maybe force a rotation or two by taking their time, but to no avail. They'll just have to brute force their way in.
Apex back his statue is doing what he can, and that is more than enough with Kenny S's help. Further yet, the round buffer diminishes from a 7-0 at one point, just 2 rounds shy now at 11-9 behind.
Yeah, outside of losing the pistol in this half, G2's been up to the task in every other round. That's 4 in a row now for them. And as you noted, just 2 away from tying this thing up. And again, money low on Hellraisers. As it's essentially another really heavy Glock round. I mean, never mind, we do see a couple of late upgraded pistol buys, but still very little armor, no utility. Just should be an easy round for G2, all things considered.
The only round Hellraisers have won on this half was the pistol, and since then it's been all G2. 4 rounds back-to-back. Hellraisers on the brink of conceding a 5th. Very little to play with in this round. Kevlar for Bondic and a Tech 9. It is enough to cause nightmares. Angel with a Deagle is going to open his account in round 21 with a kill onto Apex. Again, a huge kill. And he's got an AK too.
Yeah, forces some rotates as well. That pulls the rotator actually into door, so that means he's a little bit further from B, which is where a lot of the numbers are gathered up at. But they're going to see if Angel can't go to work a bit more with this AK. See if he can't find any more out of this. He could pull even more rotates, do even more damage. Shocks, will he worry about that? That's going to be the big question. Sticko can definitely surprise him. It looks like he just will back out of there, so it won't have an effect.
NBK steps up onto B long. Time ticking down. Pressure gonna start to mount. Angel, who was given the mission of seek and destroy, hasn't really yielded much since that one dig. NBK is gonna see action. He's been tagged down and will get fragged as well. Could this be the dream for Hellraisers coming back into this? It's an AWP and it's an M4, but more importantly, it's Kenny S, and he's gonna come through with 3 massive kills. Body picks up the rest. And when G2 have the pressure, Kenny S will alleviate it time and time again. And you can see the relief on the faces of G2.
Yeah, he deserves that shoulder rub. What a headshot hit on the platform there. That shot was crisp and clean. Exactly what you would want to bring this round back, because that did get scary. Angel was doing some great things over on the A side. They got a couple of pistol kills, but yeah, Kenny says, I'm having none of that. I want that trophy. I want that MVP title. He's definitely putting in the work to do it, but here comes the full buy from Hellraisers. A lot of presence over here towards middle, so again, they have a lot of different smoke setups they can throw from here. Try to keep G2 guessing where it's coming from.
Shox with the aggressive AWP peek up on B long side. Sticko not too far away, just a short throw of a Molotov will extinguish it instantly, and that's going to allow Shox to know his position. There's no way the smoke lands that quickly if he's on the long side of B plat. He's able to use that smoke to escape. Body will not take any prisoners as he goes in for 2, and now Angel's going to make very much the same case for himself. 2 plays through smoke, both get laid out. A 3-on-3 will ensue, and a rotation to boot, as Angel has connector control.
Do they realize one's still A? I don't think they do. So this could actually be really tricky now for Hellraisers, because this player's still holding long A control.
It's very true. If they don't watch their angles, it could cost them dearly. And again, it's Kenny S who's in fine form right now. If he sees a pixel, he will convert. Bomb planted, now knows exactly where to focus his attention. Sees the barrel of the gun stick through, will convert. And now the pressure mounting on the bomb itself. Dead Fox needs the man to deliver with the AWP. Up he goes. He will be missing his first opportunity. He may not get any more, or will he? Body is the next player to fall. Angel comes through with the AK headshot, leaving Kenny S in a horrible position, and it will be Hellraisers to pick up a second round on their T half.
Really well done. They did one of those smoke setups I was talking about. There's a smoke you can throw from middle that lands in that connector doorway, and it really messes with the heads of the CT side, because they don't know if that's just a standard smoke for an A execute. But since you're throwing it from mid, you're so close to B when you do it that it allows you to put pressure there immediately and really make the CT scramble. It allows Angel to slip up mid and just cause so much chaos. He gets so many kills in this round. He winds up sealing it out in what is a huge solo effort. And so again, that's just kind of showing you what Hellraisers has in that playbook. It can be difficult to deal with, and so they hold off G2.
Apex gonna trade Molotovs on long. Get a chunk to multiple players. He's gonna go for a flash behind it just to make sure no one's up close. Now a smoke, he's wasting a bunch of time on long. The downside of that is he's expended the majority of his utility in the process. In fact, all of it to be precise. Also threw a flash in there and amongst the mix. So in doing so, he knows he has no more power plays in long A. He has to pull back. That is going to give up some real estate to Hellraisers.
And they do rotate a third player over here on G2 though, so they have a pretty stout defense if they hold this pattern. But again, since they have no real information now on what's going on, they've had to back off a bit. They're just looking for sound cues. They still have one person pushed mid-slope actually, so you may be hearing them falling back. And that may help free up the rotations a bit for G2. Because again, not really sure where Hellraisers want to take this quite yet. Bomb's still kind of floating around. So Hellraisers are definitely using all the time to their advantage to try to work things through, see what's going to be the best option.
Shock's not far off on that spray. Zero! Did he actually get knifed there?
He did.
I think there was a panic knife as suddenly Apex realized, oh my god, there's a player in my face. Kenny S, once again, is picking up the kills where it counts, but although he goes down, Zero used his ammunition to take out Kenny S, allowing NBK the freedom to return fire and return the favor. Body and Shox make that just Shox, as he's going to be coming through on the murder hole side. The position's looking tenuous for Hellraisers as now Shox has picked himself up one kill, looking for a second. You don't want to duel with Shox. He's a player that will rip your head off, and Bondit goes peeking one too many times, and G2 will punish.
Another big clutch from Shox. It's a 1v2 in a tough spot. He, of course, had the 1v2 as well on the T side that we were highlighting. So, yeah, again, just showing you the full spectrum of what he can accomplish. He can open things up, and he can also be the closer. Now it's definitely a round that looked like Hellraisers were going to take. They've been putting together some good T rounds once they've been able to get weapons in their hands, but it's just been an individual effort here that shuts it down. And so once again, G2 are 1 round away from tying this thing up. And it's going to be the timeout coming from Hellraisers as well because of it. That's the response.
Understandable. They have lost so many clutch scenarios. I mean, had they have converted them, they'd have already won this map, thus. We'd already be looking at Train. We'd be up on the next map. We'd be casting the all-deciding part of this best of 3. Instead, G2 are just 1 round behind, and Hellraisers have a huge task ahead of them. Sure, they have the round advantage, but the momentum is certainly working against them.
I mean, Hellraisers are playing a good cobblestone here. It's night and day from Cash. They really did excellent on CT side to get 10 rounds. I mean, that's well done. Their money got thrown for a loop thanks to those early rounds that G2 bought in the 2nd and 3rd and won those and really got the money in disarray for Hellraisers. Since they've been able to make purchases, they're constructing good rounds. Again, they just fall prey to Shox clutching. But now they'll be able to kind of think things through a bit, maybe even just calm down a bit. Losing a big round like that definitely can hurt when you feel like you've done everything right and you still lose. So this might even be just a timeout to just take a bit of a breather.
I mean, that last clutch, it definitely did seem like Hellraisers panicked, or they just had lack of cohesion. I mean, you had 2 players in separate positions. If Door gets peaked, it is going to be 2 separate 1v1s they have to contend with. And the first player that Shox kills is on the wrong side of the wall. He wants to get in mid. He's just completely out in the open for a free kill.
Well, I think what happened there is Hellraisers almost ran out of time to plant the bomb. So I think a lot of people were scrambling to find post-plant positions because they were really focused on making sure they got the bomb down in time because it came down to the last couple of seconds. So when you're scrambling just to make sure that you can extend the round because of the clock is against you, that definitely can throw in a sense of panic, as you noted. But now we're right back into it off the back of the timeouts. We'll see if G2 can tie things up, or whether or not Hellraisers can fend them off once more. Can he look to get aggressive there to try to find an opening pick? Doesn't pay off. Takes a lot of damage in the process, actually.
Was trying to balance the risk versus reward. Wasn't too far off the flick. Shows the confidence that is currently surging through him. Because as you highlighted, that is quite the risk. You know, if Kenny S gets burned off the Molotov, 1 stray bullet ends his life, there's your star AWPer dead and buried. Things start to get a bit hairy from there on in. He's okay. A lot of maybes, ifs, and buts. The fact is, all 10 players remain on the server, and bomb control the way of Hellraisers as they look to maneuver their way over onto the A side of the map.
It's one of those rounds where their options are a bit limited because they don't have as much firepower, they don't have that much utility, so throwing more complex tactics or doing fakes is not really an option. It's one of those things where you have to gather up for 1 good go at it, and then even having nades for post plants to hold off retakes is not in your arsenal if you waste a lot just trying to execute, so they really have to think things through and make the most out of very little.
Timing on point for Apex, throws the smoke out just as the player was looking to push. Kenny's missed his chance, but Apex, once again, is just going to be spraying players down. That timeout has not proved to be a success. Apex with a third, 12-12. We are all even, and Hellraisers put everything into that round in terms of their finances.
Yeah, Apex just finds the timing to be able to hold off the mid-slope push and still get around to make sure that long A player can't push him back. That guy would have been a bit faster. Apex only gets 1 kill there, so again, a round that came down to just timing, that Apex gets here quick enough on that angle to hold off Angel. And so they will tie up the game, and now they have a chance to take the lead, which they've yet to have this game.
And it's a good point. They went 7-0 behind in the early stages, and Shox puts them 1 step closer to landing on that mark. Kenny S does miss. Wasn't the easiest of shots, though. We'll be calling out that mid has seen a whole bunch of terrorists moving into position. Kenny S won't miss on the 2nd time. Bomb dropped out, is salvageable, but that nade has damage written all over it as it chucks 2 players down. So incredibly low. And now it's just a case of cleaning up the mess. G2 take the lead.
And you could see they're hungry to finish this thing off as they just charge down the mid-slope, chasing after that dropped bomb. Not giving any time for Hellraisers to back away as they do have their first lead in this map. Again, they're already up 1-0 after a huge win on Cash. They're trying to see if they can't put this grand finals away in 2 on home soil. Give something for that French crowd to cheer about and get their first title as a team. But Hellraisers, they still have some fight in them here. They have a great buy here, with the exception of the utility being a bit low. Will they change the pace? Are they going to speed things up? It looks likely. Some good counter nades, though, from G2 to kind of bog them down.
MBK is about to see a whole bunch of action. 2 kills from that position would have been disgraceful for Hellraisers, but they are able to remedy the situation. Now, Shox has been here before. Last time he did come out all guns blazing and picked himself up a kill. He's able to relocate, and that flash actually hit both of his assailants. Unfortunately, from his perspective, Sticko decides to push the smoke and will extinguish life of Shox. G2, not out of the woods just yet. They are going to go back to even, more than likely at 13 apiece. It's all on Apex, and the bomb about to get planted on B. So another couple chapters left in this story yet, Dust.
Yeah, it's probably the heaviest we've seen Hellraisers hit drop-down room this half, and it pays off. They trade 1 for 1. Don't allow Shox to get anything on the platform, so just really efficient trading over here on the B-bomb side. Hellraisers able to tie things right back up. And they do it clean as well, and that's great for them because money's obviously an issue. So being able to carry over
and Sticko in a 1-on-2 clutch coming through the drop side. He's gonna have Kenny S to contend with. And G2 have done it again. 2 championship points.
And that was basically their best chance to fight back. They put all their money into that, and now they've got nothing. Their money was just reset. It's going to be so difficult to craft together a goodbye now. And that double op couldn't have come at a better time. Right when they go for a fast B, when you're sliding out of platform, and that op is going to get probably that first pick for free, because there's not much you can do against it. And so they absolutely got shut down. Great play from G2. Now they're just one round away from taking that trophy. What can Hellraisers do in a low buy situation? This is their last-ditch effort. They need 2 in a row to force an overtime.
This really is go big or go home, sink or swim, and Body's gonna get overrun by the Tech-9 train. Bondic arrives at the station just in time. Shox is gonna burn to a crisp. 1 HP! He is still alive, but for how much longer? Not too much. Bondic's there with the M4, and now it's up to Kenny S again. Gets nailed through the smoke. Apex in a 1-on-3, 11 health to his name, gets picked off from the side, and Hellraisers will silence the crowd for a little bit longer. They're still in this.
Indeed they are. They weather the storm, they work a fast B, and they break through, and so they're still alive. They fought for survival, and now they've made it to the 30th round. They could force the OT. Buy is a little bit limited for G2, actually. Max 7 on Apex can still be dangerous, obviously. The 2 UMPs still can find work, but Hellraisers have put themselves in a good position.
It's honestly, at this stage, Dust, more the lack of Kevlar and Kenny S, Apex, the lack of utility that's worrying me. Not necessarily the UMPs or the Mag 7, because we know how strong they are with these kind of weaponry.
But let's take into account the position that Apex has here. He is boosted. They hasn't used it yet this game. No one has. And so this late in the game, are you really going to expect that? And the bomb's drifting by A, and Kenny S is baiting so well by getting the initial kill.
Man, it's going to be up mid, though. Kenny misses. And with the lack of Kevlar, that could be a brutal punch. Sticko, meanwhile, on the B side, is going to clean it out. The downside is that a lot of the terrorists have already committed to coming out of mid, and the bomb has been dropped out there for us. So all for Sticko's greatness, it doesn't matter. G2 are running amok through mid. Sticko, minimal health.
Oh, no.
Has now got a clutch after doing so much work on the opposite side of the map. Kenny S switches to his knife. But surely he saw that. Yep, gonna be flashing in to make sure he doesn't get charged out. This would be one hell of a clutch. Sticko has time to move in, but you feel like one bullet will end his life and give G2 this win. But look at that, he's just gonna spam straight through onto Kenny. Looking for a second one, lands it. Sticko, are you really gonna pull this one off against Apex now? Apex is playing the time, forcing Sticko's hand to pick this bomb up and put himself in harm's way by pushing across to A. Only 10 seconds remain, and Apex is gonna nail him. G2 have done it. They are your champions of DreamHack Tour 2017.
Sticko tried his damnedest there. He was so close, but it just wasn't close enough. That bomb got dropped, and that killed everything. And so G2, they do it. 16-14 on Cobble. It went the distance. A great effort from Hellraisers. A great tournament, but G2 just too strong on home soil, and they will get that title.
What a map to finish things on, too. It started so well for Hellraisers with a 7-0 lead. They finished the first half at 10-5, and then from there on out, it was all G2. A lot of respect shown between the two teams. Kenny S had a blinder of a cobblestone. He was untouchable at times. And G2 have done it. The crowd are loving this. Hellraisers will be disappointed. And G2 now in prime position to lift that trophy and make things official. Apex, MBK, Shox, all look relieved, all look happy. Kenny S, of course, now alongside with Body. Smiths. Here are your champions of DreamHack Tour 2017. It's G2.
Nathan, MBK, I wanted to stand here with your team and just have a chat with me very quickly. They're taking it back though, they're taking the cup. Firstly, this crowd, look at this. This is like incredible noise that these guys have been making.